Hello, my name is Azmina Babwani, and my presentation is on chemical roadway spills for my Fundamentals of Environmental Health class. My objectives are: define the different types of chemical roadway spills, analyze the breakdown of vehicular spills, discuss the number of hazardous incidents in the U.S. by hazard classification between 2013 and 2018, explore the U.S. incidents by results in 2018, evaluate the number of hazardous incidents in northeastern states in 2018, and lastly, summarize all the findings. My table of contents entails of Figure 1, which is types of spills. Figure 2 is a breakdown of vehicular spills. Figure 3 is incidents by hazard classification in the U.S. 2013 to 18. Figure 4 is hazmat summary by results 2018. Figure 5 is incidents in northeastern states in 2018. Lastly, the last two slides are on summary and references. Types of spills. Hazardous material spills that result from a traffic accident are either spills of vehicular fluids, hazardous materials cargo spills, or a combination of both. Vehicular fluid spills are releases of materials that are used in a vehicle's operation. The size of the release is usually small and limited to the amount used in vehicle operations. The most common hazardous materials used in vehicles include fuel or diesel gasoline, radiator coolant, which is ethylene glycol, transmission fluid, hydraulic fluid, brake fluid, windshield washer fluid, and battery acid. Other less common materials that are used in vehicles include ethanol, propane, and compressed natural gas, though propane and CNG quickly transform to their gaseous state when released. A hazardous materials cargo spill is a release of a substance or material capable of posing an unreasonable risk to health, safety, or property when transported for commercial purposes. Unlike a vehicular fluid spill, a multitude of factors dictate the size and nature of the spill, including the type of material being transported, the original load size, the physical properties of the material, and the amount of damage to the transporting vessel. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration's Office of Hazardous Materials Safety, current research indicates that hazardous materials traffic in the U.S. now exceeds 800,000 shipments per day and results in more than 3.1 billion tons of hazardous materials annually. Slide 5 is about breakdown of vehicular spills. The average volume of operating fluids, excluding fuel in a car, is approximately 8.6 liters or 2.25 gallons. Pie graph 1 provides information representative of the average volume of the various types of fluids that can be expected from a car. Responders can use this information along with fuel tank capacity of the various vehicle makes to gauge the quantity of fluids involved in a cleanup. Given these volumes, one can assess a reasonable quantity of spill and provide a judgment of the amount. It is generally accepted that cleanup of spills under the reporting quantity of 25 gallons of normal vehicular fluids can be safely handled by first responder operations level certified personnel such as policemen and firemen. As you can see from this pie graph, the engine oil is 2.6 liter, equaling to 30% of the fuels. Transmission oil is equal to 1.3 liters, equaling to 15% of the fuels. Final drive oil is 1.1 liter, which equals to 13%. Steering gear oil is 0.8 liters, which equals 9%. And coolant is 2.8 liters, which is 33%. Slide 6 is about incidents by hazard classification in the U.S. 2013 to 2018. The Department of Transportation has broad jurisdiction to regulate hazardous materials that are in transport, including the discretion to decide which materials shall be classified as hazardous. These materials are placed in one of 9 hazard classes based on their chemical and physical properties. The hazard classes may be further subdivided into divisions based on their characteristics. Additionally, some materials may be reclassified as combustible materials or other regulated materials because of limited hazard during transport. These properties and characteristics are crucial in understanding the dynamics of a spill during a traffic incident. Therefore, it is important for response personnel to understand the hazard classes, their divisions, and reclassified materials. The 5 out of the 9 classes I have focused on are flammable combustible liquid, corrosive material, poisonous material, miscellaneous hazardous material, and oxidizer. Graph 3 illustrates the amount of incidents by Department of Transportation hazard classifications over the last 5 years. The hazard materials incident summary data provided by the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration's Office of Hazardous Materials Safety indicates that flammable combustible liquids have consistently been involved in most incidents over the last 5 years. In addition, corrosive materials have steadily been involved as the second highest amounts in incidents over the last 5 years. My next slide is a bar graph that shows the hazmat incident summary by results. 53 incidents resulted in environmental damage, 12 incidents resulted in explosion, 83 incidents resulted in a fire, 43 incidents resulted in materials to flow into the water or sewer, 904 incidents did not result in any hazardous results. The majority of the incidents, 15,874, resulted in a spillage, and 307 incidents resulted in a vapor or gas dispersion. Lastly, incidents in the northeastern states in 2018, data as of December 11, 2018. Pennsylvania had the highest number of incidents, equaling to 826, followed by New York at 475. Even though the cost of these damages is in millions, it is quite impressive that none of these incidents caused any hospitalizations or fatalities. Lastly, in summary, spills can be classified as vehicular fluids, hazardous materials cargo, or a combination of both. The size of the vehicular fluids is usually small and can be handled by first responder operations level certified personnel such as firemen. In contrast, the hazardous materials cargo spills can pose a risk to health, safety, or property. These hazmat substances are divided into 9 classes, of which 5 are discussed in this presentation, with flammable combustible liquids leading in the number of incidents from 2013 to 18. In conclusion, transportation of hazardous materials is an important part of our lives, and millions of tons of these make it to their destinations safely. However, incidents do occur, so it is important that the transporters and the responding personnel are educated about the different hazard classifications and can take appropriate actions to contain these incidental releases. These are my references. Thank you very much for your time.